Hello, what's up? Welcome back to Pimp My Shed Plays. I've not made any sort of videos or content for quite a while. I actually watched and recorded the whole Xbox showcase last night, and I've come to edit it today, and the whole microphone audio was off. For some reason, Streamlabs decided to mute my microphone in the actual, in the settings. So whilst I covered the whole showcase live, there's no audio. So that was a waste of time. But saying that, absolutely loved that showcase. But before we get into that, so I've been really busy lately, and things are sort of calming down a bit now. I got married. Wedding was amazing, best day ever. Thanks to everybody who came. Thanks to the messages from the people who couldn't make it. All the kind messages and words, and the best wishes and the good looks and all that sort of stuff. So that's it. Married man. Off the shelf. Never thought I would get married, honestly. I think a lot of people that were at the wedding didn't think I would ever get married either, to be honest. Not had a good run when it comes to meeting the right person, relationships. I've also not probably been the best person to be in a relationship with growing up. Bit of a party boy, drinking and doing other things that you shouldn't do. And yeah, finally met my person, and she's amazing. And yeah, that's it. So we got married. We got married at Shotton Grange, which was a nice hotel. We had basically had the venue for the whole 2 days. It was really nice weather, and we were going to get married outside. Took the chairs outside because the sun was shining. Then it started raining. Brought the chairs back in. Chairs outside. Chairs back in. Chairs outside. Ended up getting married inside, which was just as nice, but we would have liked to have got married outside in front of this nice fountain. But sod's law, as soon as we got married, sun came out, and it was out all day, 20 odd degrees, people getting sunburnt. So if we just waited a little bit, we probably would have had that wedding outside, but it was an amazing day. We had a cheesecake, and it wasn't cheesecake like the dessert, it was actually cheeses, like tiers of cheese. So that was from Northumbria Creamery, which was really nice. And we had 2 little Lego figures on the top of us, of me and Helen. And it was just a great day. Really, really enjoyed it. And then 2 days after that, we got a puppy. We got a new dog, Olive. She's a miniature schnauzer. She'll be in the videos going forward. She's just asleep at the moment. Trying to get her into sort of a routine. So a lot of time is getting taken up by her. I'm off today, I'm off tomorrow. It's good. I'm very content at the moment. But what I'm not content with is the game time. Game time for me is just non-existent, and it's frustrating because I really want to get into gaming a bit more, and play video games. There's so much stuff that I'm playing at the moment. I'm playing Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's a few VR games that have just dropped on PlayStation Plus Premium. Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, which I started to play, which I'm really enjoying. I'm also playing Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord in VR, which is also a fun game. But there's loads of stuff to look forward to. This, I didn't really do a reaction to the state of play, although a lot of people didn't really like it. I thought it was okay. There was a lot of stuff there that wasn't for me, but that's fine. It's not all about me. But I think there was something there for everybody. And then yesterday was the Xbox showcase, which I was going in with really low expectations because Xbox don't really do great showcases. They haven't had much luck in the past 11 years. They seem to be on a death spiral, in my opinion. Certainly in the hardware department. But that showcase yesterday was unbelievable. That was the best showcase that Xbox has ever put on. It was just the way it was just set up. Phil Spencer, that Call of Duty trailer was amazing with the Prodigy music going on. Absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love Black Ops. Prefer Black Ops to the Modern Warfare side of Call of Duty. I've always preferred Black Ops. Loved Cold War. But that new trailer looks unbelievable, and the fact that it's got a campaign. The campaign looks amazing. The multiplayer is probably going to be fantastic, and it just looked really dark and gritty. It's also coming to PlayStation, but it's going to be Game Pass. A lot of games on Game Pass, and I think I'll be resubscribing to Game Pass after watching all that because it was just unbelievable. I'm going to try and get a list of the games up and then just see what I'm looking forward to. But pretty much everything there was an absolute banger that I just wanted to play, which was rare because Xbox just haven't pulled me in. And this is the most excited I've been about for Xbox, and they've really sparked, piqued my interest again, and I'm so excited for the games that they're going to release. And I do think Xbox are a good company. I think the heart's in the right place. They're just terrible at marketing and messaging. But it was a great showcase. But let's have a look at the games and we'll have a look. There wasn't a heavy use of word. I didn't hear the word exclusive in that showcase at all. Some people are speculating that a lot of these games are going to be coming over to other platforms. There is another video, little short soundbite clip that Phil Spencer did in an interview with Ryan McCaffrey after the showcase. And he's talking about, you're going to see more games going to other platforms. So obviously the Xbox fanboys are up in arms about that. But it makes sense from a business point of view. They've spent $70 billion on this acquisition. They need to see a return on that money. And if they can get games like, Sea of Thieves is just absolutely dominated on PlayStation. It sold, millions. I don't know about millions, but it was definitely up there with the sales. It was one of the highest selling games on PlayStation Plus. So Call of Duty Black Ops, amazing, looked fantastic. Already spoke about that. Indiana Jones, not a big fan of the title, The Great Circle, but I think that game looks amazing as well. Troy Baker's doing the voice of Indiana Jones, and he sounds pretty close to Harrison Ford. We've got Gears of War E-Day, which was the last showing, the last game that's shown, which I'm absolutely pumped for. Obviously, it's a prequel. It's taking place on Emergence Day, where the locusts rise up, and we're probably going to see a lot of life in the city where society's kind of crumbling because of the invasion. So that's something I'm really excited for. Nice to see Dom. Obviously Dom, Cole, and Baird will be back in it, the old team. But having Dom in it again was nice to see, because obviously, spoiler alert, he dies in the games. Doom Dark Ages looked fantastic. I wasn't a huge fan of Doom Eternal, but Doom Dark Ages looks fantastic. Can't wait to play that. Avowed looks really good from Obsidian. That looks like a really good game. That's something I play, like an first-person RPG. Diablo, Vessel of the Hatred. Vessel of Hatred. That looks really good. Cinematic that was shown for that. I've not played the new Diablo yet. It's on Game Pass, but it's on my list of things to play. There's just too much to play at the moment. There's too much going on. Age of Mythology was like a top-down sort of strategy game, which looked really interesting. I would probably play that as well. Stalker 2 looked really good, like a Chernobyl sort of. I've never played the first one, but that looked really interesting as well. Assassin's Creed Shadows looked really good. I'm so far behind in Assassin's Creed. I think the last one I finished was Odyssey. Origins. I haven't touched Odyssey because I just looked at the map and I was like, this is too big. I'm trying to play Valhalla, but again, it's just massive. And it all falls into time. Sitting down and playing a game for me now, I'm lucky if I get to play, 10 hours a week, which is crazy, So it's all about time for me, and trying to get the time to play these games. And with the games, all these games sort of stacking up, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people play every single new release, finish that one, and move on to the next new release and finish that one. I don't understand how people have the time to do it, because life's busy, and obviously, these people that do this obviously have more time to play video games than I do, which I'm jealous of. Dragon Age, the Veilguard looked really good as well. I haven't played Inquisition. I've got Inquisition, but again, it's on the back catalogue. But that looked really interesting as well. World of Warcraft, that was just a new expansion coming to PC. I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't see any of them. I was really excited when that Warcraft trailer dropped, because it was like a montage of the whole story so far, and I was kind of hoping it was going to be like, and it's coming to Game Pass, but I think it will eventually. But that was something I'd play the shit out of World of Warcraft if it came to Game Pass. Flight Simulator, not my game, but it looked really good. Definitely very impressive with the graphics and the sort of different sort of roles you can play in flights: VIP, pilot, rescue, firefighter, agriculture. So that was quite interesting as well. Fable looked really good as well. Fable, I was quite excited to see Fable. A bit more gameplay in there. Game looks graphically, it looks fantastic. Mixtape was like an 80s kind of indie game, but that had like loads of licensed 80s music, so I'll be playing that because I love 80s music. Perfect Dark was a big surprise. That game just looked fantastic as well. Really sort of. It took me a while to sort of twig that it was Perfect Dark. I was like, this just looks right up my street. Very sort of that sort of Deus Ex adventure sim sort of thing. Expedition 33, not my cup of tea, but it looked really interesting. I think the combat wasn't for me. I think it looked like turn-based, but it looked interesting as well. New IP, you can't complain. South of Midnight, I loved the animation style of the game. They sort of, it almost looked like freeze, stop capture animation in the game, but the gameplay looked really interesting. Again, new IP, something to get excited for. Starfield Shattered Space DLC, very interested in playing that as well. There was some new stuff that dropped for that as well on last night, I think, because they said there's some stuff coming tonight. State of Decay 3. I've never played a State of Decay game, but it looked interesting. Zombies, cooperative. I'll maybe try and have a go with State of Decay and see what it's all about. See if it's my cup of tea or not. Wu Chang Fallen Death Feathers. That looked really interesting as well. Elder Scrolls: The Gold Road. That was a really cool trailer. I really enjoyed that trailer as well. Elder Scrolls Online is quite a time-consuming game as well, but it's something that I keep dipping in and out of. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, I was quite surprised how decent that looked as well. So I probably would play that again. These are all coming to Game Pass as well. These are day one Game Pass. Fallout 76, tried to get into Fallout 76, couldn't really do it, but excited for people that are big fans of that franchise to get some more content for that game. Life is Strange Double Exposure looked really good. I've never played. I've played the first one, I think, but it was ages ago. But it's just another franchise that I need to sort of catch up and get into. Sea of Thieves DLC. Sea of Thieves is amazing. I've got it on Xbox and bought it on PlayStation just to show a bit of support there. Atomfall looked really. That was the one that was really interesting for me. That kind of looked like it was set in sort of a British village with like the old telephone boxes and the hedges, and very reminded me of home. Really, that's what my sort of hometown area kind of looks like, with all the old village signs and the pubs and stuff. So that was really interesting. That's a game that I'm really interested in. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. That was pretty cool as well. I can't really remember it. I think Winterborough. I think that was that game with the mouse. Fragpunk is like the 5 versus 5 shooter. That's probably going to be, compared to Concord. And then you got Mecha Break, which was pretty decent as well. But really strong. That is such a strong lineup. And the only thing about it is there wasn't a lot of release dates. There was only a few that was like 2024. A lot of it was 2025, and then some of them didn't even have release dates. So that was but it's good to see that this is you're starting to see the culmination and the fruits of Xbox's labour, and we're seeing a clear vision of these games. How many of these games are going to come to other platforms? I don't know, but I imagine a lot of them will. So let's have a look at.
You're going to get the opportunity to buy. Our commitment to our Xbox customers is.
So this was an interview that Phil Spencer did afterwards. The Red Dragon, he's kind of a bit of a PlayStation fanboy, but this is pretty relevant of what he's saying.
our commitment to our Xbox customers is you're going to get the opportunity to buy or subscribe to the game. We're going to support the game on other screens. And you are going to see more of our games on more platforms. And we just see that as a benefit to the franchises that we're building. And we see that from players, and the players love to be able to play.
Well,
Thank you.
there you go.
So obviously having a little dig at Ryan McCaffrey there because he's quite Xbox centric, which there's nothing wrong with that, I suppose. It was just a really good showcase. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I really did. I thought it was, hats off to them. We also got the white Xbox Series X, which I'm quite tempted to get because my Switch OLED is white, my PlayStation 5 is white, my Xbox is black. So that's irritating me now. I just think that would look so nice next to my PlayStation 5. And my PlayStation VR is white, the handheld is white, the PlayStation Remote is white, DualSense is white. I even bought the earbuds to play with my Portal. That's all white. So I'm tempted to get... It's digital. I don't understand how it's so expensive because it's like $450, which I don't know what's that in UK money. I imagine it's not far off because the exchange rate is pretty piss. I don't understand how it's as expensive as the current Xbox. So the price in there for me isn't great. But I definitely would consider getting an Xbox White Series X there. And that was it, sort of. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Xbox. I'm excited for the games that are coming. I think it's been a long time coming. I think the Xbox have been pissing into the wind, and they've had a lot of negative press and feedback, and closing the Hi-Fi Rush studios and Arcane, and all them studios that they closed after Hi-Fi Rush was such a great game for them. And now we're seeing this, and it's almost like I don't want to say the trust's being restored, but it kind of is. But if they're closing studios like Hi-Fi Rush, who's to say they're not going to close studios that in the future and that sort of, conversation. But I really enjoyed the showcase. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a 9 out of 10 if I had to score it. In fact, I'll do it on my scale, which is I usually do it 1 to 5. So I'll probably score it as a 4. The only thing that I would take away from it was there was a point where it was just Phil Spencer talking at the start. You got the Call of Duty trailer. Then Phil Spencer talked, which is you'd expect. Then it was just game, all gameplay as well. A mixture of CGI, but there was gameplay in every single announcement, which is what they used to do. I'm nearly 40. I'm 39. I took 39 a few weeks ago. About a month ago actually. And that's what they used to do with these showcases. It was just gameplay. None of these CGI trailers, and anyone can put a CGI trailer up. But to see the game working and the engine and how it, you can get an idea of how the game's going to play, what it feels like. And it was just gameplay. And I was just like, this is amazing. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic. And then Matt Booty's face popped up and started talking. And I was just like, I rolled my eyes. I was like, oh God, they were doing so well. And then I thought maybe this was the outro, and I thought it's fine if someone's talking at the start, someone's talking at the end, just let the games do the talking in the middle. But then Matt Booty went away, then it was just game, announcement, and then Sarah Bond popped up and she closed the show. So I didn't feel like they needed that Matt Booty section in the middle. But I know that why they did it, because it is Phil Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah Bond. They are the three amigos when it comes to Xbox. So I suppose they all had to be there to see like they were, present, if you will. But I really enjoyed it, and anyone on social media, anyone on Twitter or anything that's saying that was a bad showcase is an idiot, and they deserve an unfollow. And I think people should use things like this when something's so good like that. When you have people that are trying to be negative about something that was so good, it just outs people. In my opinion, it outs people as a fanboy, PlayStation fanboy. Somebody who wants to see failure, who doesn't want us to have good competition in the games industry. And I really feel that people like that should be, just swept away under the rug. Don't follow them, mute them. They don't deserve any interaction. If you can't say something's good, I'm primarily a PlayStation player. I don't mind saying that. You know, I'm one of these people that Phil Spencer was talking about when the Xbox One was revealed. When it was all TV, sports, Connect, Xbox, do this, game shows and fucking Prices Right and stuff like that. They lost me. They lost me. And I was one of the people that Phil Spencer was talking about. I went to PlayStation. I was always with PlayStation. I've had a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. But primarily when I had my 360 and my PlayStation 3, I was using my 360 more than my PlayStation 3. And when that Xbox One announcement dropped, I was one of the people that just went to PlayStation and I stuck with PlayStation 4 and I built my digital library on PlayStation. And then after that, it was just PlayStation just gathered so much momentum. And I was really kind of like, don't really care about Xbox, to be honest with you, because they're just not doing it, not delivering. They're not doing things for me. They're not, you know, they're just there. They're not doing anything. But this is really, really sparked my interest, and you know, I'm going to be subscribing to Game Pass and playing all these games, and you know, supporting them. You know, I'm just excited for them, and I'm excited to see where they are, and I'm excited to see that they were firing on all cylinders. And if you can't praise something, you know, just for something being good, and you're being negative because it's Xbox and it's Xbox, I don't want to touch that. Xbox are shit. They've been terrible for ages. But when they do something good and you're still going, it's Xbox, they're terrible. That showcase was mediocre. It was awful. It was this, that, and the other. You know, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But you've got to be objective rather than subjective. You know, you can't just have these internal feelings and be like, "Oh, I hate Xbox, so anything they do, I'm not going to give them a chance." You know, so these people. And it's the same with PlayStation. People that were saying the PlayStation state of play was awful, you know, and it wasn't fantastic. I think you can't compare a state of play that was half an hour to an Xbox showcase that was over an hour long, you know. So I think people need to sort of step out of their bubble a bit more, be a bit more open-minded. You know, it's not all about teams. It's not all about my plastic box is better than this plastic box. That's the mentality of children. And it's something, like I keep saying, we all go through growing up. But credit where it's due. You know, I think Xbox delivered. I think they've shown that they are present, and they've shown that they've got all these great games coming to Game Pass and possibly to other platforms. And you know, they might be not doing so well in the hardware department, but certainly with the software and the games and stuff, they've definitely got the games now. I'm totally surprised. I'm pleased for them as well. I think it's been a long time coming. I'm glad that they've finally got a win, because it's not something you really hear very often, is Xbox having a win. And I'm not going to take that away from them. It was a fantastic showcase. I'll be supporting them with all these games and subscribing to Game Pass and playing all these titles when they drop day one. And I hope that other people will as well, and don't have this sort of tunnel vision and just be like, well, I'm just sticking with PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever. You know, just video games are amazing. Video games are fantastic. They're the best form of escapism. They're like playable movies. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that this is such a great hobby, and it's such a fantastic medium to be a part of. And I really think that we should really come together and celebrate games rather than, you know, every single time you go on Twitter, people just don't enjoy anything anymore. And I think that's mainly because people are so plugged in, you know, trying to find leaks and rumours and, you know, trying to find things that are, oh, this game's getting announced, but it's been leaked, and it's you know, and the leaking community, I don't understand it. Just let games drop when they drop. And it's almost like, because people are that plugged into social media, that they are so like plugged into the matrix that they know what's coming before it gets announced. So when you watch a showcase and you know that all these games that are coming, you sort of knew about them because they've been leaked, then you're not going to be surprised because nothing's ever going to meet your expectations. So there's also that as well. I don't really use social media that often. I tweet maybe once, twice a week now. And that was just a lovely surprise. You know, I think you can be too invested in the social media side of things, and I think you can spoil things for yourself. It's like you're ruining your own Christmas in a way. You've gone down to the basement, you've looked under the sheet, you've seen all your Christmas presents, and then Christmas Day comes, and you're just not excited about anything because you knew it was coming. So that's pretty much what that is when people criticize showcases, states of play. You know, it's just step back from social media a bit and just enjoy the surprises and the announcements for what they are. You know, so that's it. I feel like I'm rambling. Kind of just wanted to come on and just have a little bit of a chat there about that showcase because I thought it was phenomenal. And that's it. So if you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll maybe get Olive in the next video, but thanks very much, and we'll see you again on the next one. Cheers.